Hello everyone and welcome to Solshow. Today we are reviewing A Quiet Place. So this movie was a lot more divisive than I thought. There's some people who really like this movie, some people hate it, and there's a good number of people like me who was like, it was a good film. I thought this was a good film. I thought as horror movies go, you know, I didn't think it was above the herd, but at the same time, this film was really interesting at a lot of points. This film is about a family that lives in bumfuck nowhere during the apocalypse, and seemingly all life has vanished. And that is because there are monsters roaming the earth, and these monsters kill people, and they kill people based upon sound. They have super hearing, and the second they hear things, they go and fucking take it out and destroy it. And so you gotta be really quiet in order to survive. So this family that survived via their deaf daughter, did I just say deaf? Deaf, there's a difference. Their deaf daughter, and via sign language and being very quiet, they have survived. And this movie writes itself. It's a horror movie. There's gonna be a bunch of jump scares. The jump scares obviously make sense in the context of this. The suspense is already there. You can't make any noise, otherwise it's suspenseful. There's a lot of gags and, you know, times they try to make the characters scream via something scary or painful, and yeah, they're gonna make enough noise that it's scary and you're gonna be teetering on the edge of your seat. But at the same time, this movie does fall flat in a lot of areas. A lot of people like to talk about the writing of this movie. Listen, horror movies are dumb most of the time. Most horror movies have big holes in them. Amazing movies have big holes in them. This movie had holes, but the holes were like on the front surface of the movie. Like, I think anyone who watches this movie is going to probably at least bring up one of these questions, like, why didn't they do this? Why did this happen? That's never good. That's never good for a movie. But these are in films all the time. They're usually just hidden beneath the surface. I don't see why people are getting, like, all upset over these particular things. Talking about this movie is written terribly, shitting all over my boy from The Office. This is his big debut film. He's directing it, he's starring in it, and they're shitting all over it. That being said, maybe there were some big blemishes that really should have been touched upon, but these blemishes, like, I've learned to get over these. Like, these are in every single film, especially horror movies, and you really just kind of adapt as a moviegoer to get over these small bullshit questions. Sure, you got them, but are you really gonna not enjoy yourself because of them? Like, I still liked a lot of the suspense. I liked a lot of the visuals and ideas brought here. I was on the edge of my seat a number of times, and you know those scenes in horror movies where you're like, kid, why are you putting the fucking batteries in that toy? Those are what make horror movies amazing a lot of the time. So I'm not going to pretend like I didn't have fun in the theater watching these idiots run around this dumb movie that then they fight these Signs-esque aliens that seem very easy to defeat. Not as easy as the ones from Sign, but still pretty easy. And I think just being memorable is like some of the biggest things a horror movie can ask from me. Like, am I going to remember the characters? I did in this movie. Am I going to remember certain stunts and spots? I did in this movie. Am I going to be scared? I wasn't scared from this movie, but I was in suspense a number of times. And am I going to walk away from the film at the end of the day being like, huh, that was a good film? Like your usual like nod as you walk out of the theater, like, yeah, I did that for this film. Could this movie have been better? Of course. Could this movie have written itself out of a corner that it wrote itself in? Of course. Could it have paid more attention to its own plot? Of course. That being said, though, I enjoyed this film, and I don't understand why it's as divisive as it is. I'm seeing a lot of different feedback for this movie. I understand most of it, but I really think there's a consensus that, like, is in the argument here, and they're acting as if this is, like, new or not the same discussions we have with every single horror movie. Like, where have you guys been? And that's why I'm going to give A Quiet Place a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed the film, and I hope you guys did too. And until next time, with that, I leave you.